In our previous video, we typed in AAPL, which is Apple's ticker symbol, into our symbol box, and up popped this chart down below with all these different data points. So what does each data point actually mean, and which points are important for us to pay attention to? So let's go line by line. In the top right-hand corner, we see again Apple's name and its ticker symbol AAPL. And directly to the right, so right here we have this number, and the number is 127.10, and then there's a plus 0.54. So the number 127.10 is the last trading price of Apple stock, based on either when the markets closed or when this chart was last refreshed, which was 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time on April 10th, 2015. And I'm getting that information right here. So Apple's ticker, again, Apple's price per share at that particular price at that particular time on April 10th was $127.10. And the 0.54 number is the dollar amount that the stock either gained or lost today. So it's green, it's a positive. That means that the stock gained 54 cents today. And if it was negative 0.54, that would have meant that the stock lost 54 cents today from the beginning of when it traded. Next, we have the bid-ask prices to the right. And the bid price in this case is 127.07. And this bid price represents the maximum price that a buyer or buyers are willing to pay for Apple stock at this time. On the contrary, the ask price represents the minimum price that a seller or sellers are willing to receive for the stock. So you'll notice that there's a discrepancy here. This discrepancy between the 127.07 and the 127.50 is called the spread. And the key here is that a trade or a transaction will only occur when a buyer and seller mutually agree on a price for the security. So next, now that we understand, bid ask, let's look at days high and low. And these numbers highlight Apple's intraday high-low trading price. So what this says is that Apple stock fluctuated between a high of $127.21 and a low of $125.26 on this particular day, which was April 10th, 2015. Now, to the right of these numbers are the 52-week high lows of the stock trading price. These are the highest and lowest prices that Apple stock has traded at during the past 52 weeks. And worthy of note here is that traders and investors typically look at 52-week higher lows as a factor in determining the value of a stock and predicting where the stock price may go in the future. So, for example, if Apple was trading, let's say hypothetically, at $133.60 on April 10th, which it's not, right? It's trading at 127.10. But let's say it was at 133.60 on April 10th. Investors might speculate that based on the past 52-week trends, Apple stock price will likely go down instead of peaking again at a new 52-week high, right? Because the last 52-week high was 133.60. So investors might speculate, it's got a lot farther to fall, and it will likely hit somewhere closer to 73.05 than to go above and beyond 133.60. However, this is total speculation, and it's important to remember that historical trends might not be representative of the future. So to the right of these 52-week highs and lows, we have the bid and ask sizes. I will preface this by saying that, in my personal opinion, these particular metrics are probably the least useful out of all these different metrics in this chart for novice investors. So don't worry too much about them. But to give you some insider information, or to really understand, what these numbers mean, the bid size and the ask size numbers indicate how many shares investors are looking to buy or sell at a specified price. So these numbers are also quoted in the hundreds, and in this particular example, a bid size of 3 equates to to 300 shares that investors are bidding on, and the ask size of 10 equates to 1,000 shares. And finally, we come to the volume number. And again, this volume number, not terribly beneficial to novice investors, but the number displays the number of shares of Apple that traded hands, and it could either have been bought or sold during the day on April 10th.